This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Coffee.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Stay tuned during this podcast for more information and promo codes.
Well,
I imagine
actually,
there is like...
could you remind me real quick what the name of, I forgot to write it down, name of the lady the elf lady, who invited me in
Oh,
is?
in Kiri.
Okay.
Yep. And Kiri does come pretty soon. And she's smiling. She is, like, her movement is almost like she's floating. And she sits down a lovely looking porcelain tea set. And she sits down. And she holds one of the teacups and smiles. Now, this is how I found out you were coming. The tea leaves told me.
The tea leaves, Interesting.
There is always quite a bit at the bottom of the cup. And she smiles. And Edna seems to find this phrase a little bit too entertaining. And she giggles a little and does like a little almost snort, but she tries to cover it up. So, Nork, right?
Yes, Nork.
Well, what business do you have here? You come mostly unexpected with a do you need help with your mule?
By what means do you mean help?
Well, she's definitely trapped in that body.
Interesting that you could sense so, just with our passing.
Oh, I might have, detected some magic. She looks very embarrassed, like you caught her in almost a lie.
Yeah, I had figured it might be something like that. That was not what I was intending to look for. However, I feel that that current situation is on a particularly difficult level. Something we will work out in time.
She nods. So, why are you here? Oh, it isn't because of my guest, is it? And Edna smiles and lifts up her cup of tea, kind of in a cheers.
I had only just met your guest just now as I came in. Quite pleasant.
Yes.
And Norik will be looking over at Edna with the kind of look of, there's a cat on the other side of the window and a squirrel sitting outside on the fence, just sort of like, I'm keeping an eye on you.
And she sees the look and kind of puckers her lip a little in just a playful way. But that's more or less like a cat licking its lips at this moment.
And Norik looks back to Inkiri and says, yes, quite pleasant.
So, what could a halfling with an enchanted mule want with just a poor maternity helping witch?
Uh, I'm mostly a traveler, which I know it's not the most common halfling profession, if you could call it a profession.
She kind of gives you the look of get on with it.
Sorry. There are certain items which I seek, and I'm just trying to do a little bit of investigation as to where I can locate said things.
Her face goes from friendly to almost unamused. Oh, who sent you?
Uh, I have dealings with Austere over to Magic College.
He wouldn't have sent you over here. He would have come here himself. Who sent you?
Someone with particularly good insight.
Someone who sells by the dozen.
Perhaps.
She's starting to look a little angry.
Perhaps I've come to the wrong place then.
No. Which item is he looking for this time?
Oh, you've dealt with him before.
We're, for lack of a better word, friends.
It seems like that kind of friendship.
She raises an eyebrow.
No, I mean, not that kind of friendship, but that kind of friendship. Like, oh. Anyway, moving on.
And we're going to leave Nork there with that awkwardness. And let's see how Audra and Rand are holding out. We're going to pause things for a moment and have a word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Coffee.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Do you like role-playing games but you have no dice? Are you a dice dragon and just need a hoard dice? Libris Arcana has you covered. Libris Arcana offers both a monthly and quarterly subscription to get dice. Yeah, that's right. They send you dice monthly or every 3 months. They also sell individual dice sets and great leather protective book covers for your gaming manuals. Go to www.librisarcana.com. That's LIBRISARCANA.com to find out more. And if you use the promo code SwordfallFan, you get a discount. Look in the description below for more details. And now back to the story. So you two, there are tables here that you can sit down at and start reading. How does Rianne do with the reading? How's her attention span?
If it's involving anything with magic, she's just enthralled. But if it's something that's just, like, for example, a fantasy novel or something that doesn't appeal to her. She is just like, she doesn't have patience for it.
And how about Audra? Like, how does she deal with...
Can she use encode thoughts to transfer the book information to our brains? It says it allows you to do it with detect thoughts to instantly receive a memory.
Okay.
So transferring the message from a read message, or one of them could read it. Like Audra could read one and then probably transfer it to Rayanne.
You
would have to read it first, but she could at least give Rayanne some extra information.
And Audra is super duper smart. I hope.
Yeah, she's supposed to be.
So I'm gonna have you, since you are taking in a lot of information, you can either roll int checks. I think this is gonna be investigation. I think that's an intelligence check. Always doubt myself with this one. Yeah. Totally do investigation. Let's see how well you are. 16. That is pretty good. So, Rayanne, how do you feel about this new magical learning where basically someone's reading something, touching you, you're getting the information while you're getting information from a book?
Rayanne's all for this. She doesn't like to waste time while she books on magic.
Mm-hmm.
She knows it feels like a waste of time to her, whether she could, she could read a book or she could spend time foraging for food or, foraging for food.
Think of the study parties in this world. It's probably one person reading a book and the rest of them just like touching each other. Anyways. Yeah, you're getting through the information fairly quickly. It's a lot to take in. There's a lot of daughters of and sons of and all that stuff to keep track of. It seems like the First Mother has been around for a long time and has spawned a lot of children / creatures / monsters. And you're kind of seeing the pattern, both of you, that the children of the First Mother, some of them don't live too long. They probably live to their 30s, if best. And then they're killed in horrible, horrible ways.
Oh my gosh.
And you notice that there's been a lot of rise to children coming into adulthood around every 250 years. So, Ran, you might not be the only one around your age that is related to the First Mother. This podcast is powered by listeners like you. Thanks. Please like, comment, rate, share, and subscribe wherever you can. Consider supporting us through Patreon, Ko-fi.com, or by hitting the listener support button on our Anchor.fm page. Follow and interact with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. For all these links, look in the description below. If you liked our podcast, consider listening to these other great podcasts.
A long, long time ago, in a land far away named Phylor, there were 4 legendary adventurers.
We are the Adventurous Four, renowned across the land.
Using their cunning and strength, the party defeats many monsters and saves many lives.
Nick takes her fairy blade and stabs it into his other eyeball.
Oh my gosh! Can Hugo jump on my back? Do I cast Expeditious Retreat?
Yeah. Can Bob roll a d20 for me?
I don't like that. I don't like how you asked that.
D20 business.
What if I rolled a 1? What if I told you I just rolled a 1?
Come and join us weekly at How the Quest Was Won. Found anywhere where podcasts are located. Purchase not necessary. No real magic was used in the making of this podcast.